the Syrian president is the lesser of two evils. That seems to be the message from Western powers to the rebels at the latest so-called Friends of Syria meeting. The apparent U-turn was prompted by the rise of al-Qaeda and other extremist groups there, which may gain the upper hand if Bashar Assad's government falls. In the latest incident, dozens of innocent people were reportedly killed and tortured when radicals raided the town of Adra outside Damascus. RT Arabic brings us this report.
Terror still fills the hearts of those who witnessed the militants entering the town of Adra. They saw panicked, disoriented people running for their lives, and they ran themselves. They will never forget the despair in the eyes of those who were forced to stay behind. We have no reliable way to communicate with the people trapped inside Adra, but officials are saying the atrocities against the civilian population are continuing. People are being butchered and even burned alive, and every bit of news coming out of the town is dealing a new blow to those whose families are still being held by the militants.
Everyone working for the local authorities was to be killed, regardless of their religion or denomination. They were all taken to be killed. They took everyone, even those who supported neither the government nor the rebels. They were all either tortured, killed, or used as human shields.
The things being done in Adra are unthinkable. They're slaughtering children and throwing them out of windows, and no one's doing anything about it.
Syrian authorities say they have evidence confirming that massacres have taken place in Adra, Sadat, Latakia, and many other areas, which remain under the control of the armed opposition. The situation in Syria has now deteriorated to the point that international norms of combat are no longer being observed.
Adra is an industrial town with a lot of its residents working both in the private sector and for government agencies. Horrifying crimes have been committed in this town. Houses were set on fire with people trapped inside.
The Syrian army, which is positioned just outside the town, continues to carry out surgical strikes as part of their effort to liberate Adra, which is now the only hope of the families waiting for news of their loved ones inside the town. Abu Taleb, Abu Haya, RT.
As soon as reports of the massacre started to appear, RT got in touch with some prominent human rights groups to get the details. RT's Paula Sleer has more on what they told us.
The fact is that Syria is so deep in crisis that the international community is essentially unable to do anything. It cannot even verify various mixed and partial reports that are coming from the war zone. And this is what we see happening currently with the reports that we're receiving from both Adra and Aleppo. What we are being told is that in Aleppo, the military launched an airstrike on rebel-held positions. According to local activists, at least 100 people have been killed, including some 28 children. Now, the chaos in the country has led to the rise of extremist militant groups among the rebels, and it is now essentially the extremists who are leading the way among the anti-Assad ranks. Now, many, both inside Syria and the international community, have been sounding the alarm bells from the beginning that this is what will happen. But only now are others, particularly in the international community, starting to see what is going on in the ground.